I don't like watching myself. I do not watch, like, this is lead up to Bruce Lee. I don't not like watching myself on tape. But a couple weeks ago, when we were going to go back to, I thought I was going to work last week, June 4th and 5th, without even thinking about it, I one night got high and started looking at, out of everything, what I feel is the best work I've ever done, which is Ari's show.
This is not happening.
This is not happening. You know, I started watching the clips from there. I'd never seen the latest one I did, Royal Wood. I'd never even seen it.
You never watched it?
No, I'd never watched that one. When I clicked onto it, I realized there's a bunch of people reviewing those. So I started watching some of the reviews, and I was like, wow, I didn't think that was powerful enough. I didn't think that would throw somebody off like it did, and blah, 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 blah. But I watched my tapes, and the one I really paid attention to, the one that really fucked with me the most was me beating up the nun. The thing about me beating up the nun, dog, it was such a fucked up experience. It was like many of my experiences that I forgot all about. For years, I had carried that thought. I never even thought about it. I don't know. I mean, it's something that you do that you're not proud of, and you just move on with your life. And when all this process started of writing a book 8 years ago and shit, I asked myself, why when I was in Boulder in 89 and I was confused after prison, why did I have to make my confirmation? I was like, I got confirmed when I was 29 years old or 30 years old. Why did I do that? I was like, why did I get confirmed when I was a young kid? And I kept thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, that's right. I was supposed to make my confirmation at Sacred Heart, but before the 5th grade, after the 5th grade, I think you make your confirmation in the 6th grade. I got thrown out in the 5th grade, so all that shit went down the tubes. So it's like your bar mitzvah.
I was going to say, it sounds similar to that. Yeah.
So tremendous. I don't know what I'm smoking. They gave me something over at fucking Urban Trees that this shit curls your fucking eyebrow hair. Anyway, so I'm watching the one about, I told that story the first time ever when I opened up a Joe Rogan in New York. I just came out a la fresco with it and told this, I wrapped the material around it and told the story to the best of my ability. And it related because most of the audience, it was probably 64% Catholic, and they've heard these stories from their parents. So I didn't really think nothing of it. I just thought it was a joke. And after I did like the first two, this is not happening, Ari pulled me aside one day like the man that he is, and he goes, hey, can I talk to you about something? I want you to put some adventure into your stories. Not that I didn't like your last two stories, but I want you to really change it around a little bit. He goes, in fact, I really want you to do the nun story. So I sat down and I, wrote it out to the best of my knowledge. And like everything in my life, when you write, you seek. When you write something down, 2 or 3 sentences down, just by exercising that pen, another idea will come into your mind. Something else will come into your mind. And you think that you're going to get all those things, so I write the story out, I cut out the fat, and then I figure out on some points, and then I do the best I can when I go up there. Trust me, one of those points I'm going to forget, one of those sentences I'm going to forget. It's just natural. You just forget when you're 30. I don't care if you're 30, 20, or 50, you're going to forget one of those lines in a crucial situation. Then you'll see it later, and but so I forget all about this. I get up on stage that night, and I got to be honest with you. When I watched that, This Is Not Happening a few weeks ago, I realized a couple things from that performance that were not on the paper at all. One thing was when I talked about the Puerto Rican, thank the Italians, thank God for Italians, thank God for Puerto Ricans. When I called the Roberto Clemente looking motherfuckers, that was off the top of my fucking head because I was on a roll, So one of the things that happened through that performance, if you click on This Is Not Happening, the story of the nun, wait till you get to the part about my rage. When you watch the part about my rage, you see that my eyes swell up with tears in them because I'm telling the story about pain, something, dog, and even with all the writing you do at home, something comes out on stage that if you watch it, you'll see my eyes well up because I meant it from the bottom of my heart. You know, I go, when I attacked that fucking nun, it was, I was living in this fucking, I'm living at this fucking Catholic school. They're beating on me. I'm fucking going home on the weekends. You know, I'm staying out till 3 a.m. with my parents. I'm living this fucking cowboy life. You know, Bruce Lee had died. Roberto Clemente had died January 1st, 1973. That knocked my wins off. When Bruce Lee died, July 20th or whenever the fuck he died, listen, there was no internet, guys. So whoever tells you found out that night on the news is full of shit. It took us like 3 fucking days to find out, 4 days. Wow. And then there was no internet. You had to go to encyclopedia. Nothing.
He died in Hong Kong too, so I had to get over here.
So I had to get over here.
Interesting.
It wasn't like it is now that you get the news, breaking news on Twitter. There was nothing like that. So when the Green Hornet was on, I used to watch the Green Hornet. I remember one night throwing a fit because they didn't get me home in time to watch it from the beginning. I still remember this shit. You know, I can't tell you what episodes. I didn't look it up. I can't tell you how many episodes they shot. It wasn't on for a long time.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's a crazy thing for me, is the TV shows I loved as a kid, I thought they were on for years. And then, like, it was on for, like, 1 season.
Yeah, that was either on for 1 season or 2 seasons. I didn't even look. I didn't want to do any research. I wanted to talk from the heart today. I didn't look. I didn't do any fucking research, nothing. I just wanted to talk to you people from what I had my memories. So when I found out Bruce Lee died, it hit me hard. And, you know, I mean, here's a kid that I watched the Green Hornet, and then one day this guy disappears. And I remembered him, El Chino, because that's what I would call him, a Chinito. You know, in Spanish, and Chinito means a little Chinese guy. So I would tell my mom, I got to go home and watch the Green Hornet. My mom spoke Spanish. She don't know what the fuck a Green Hornet is. She's like, ¿qué dice? And I would say, you know, the show con el Chinito. And that was a half hour that my mom had a break. And I would sit there and do the same moves he did. And then I got hit in the head with the fucking lunchbox. And my mother gave me the opportunity to join karate. And I was like, this is what that fucking Chinito used to do. And I couldn't think of his name. But then my godfather used to take me to movie theaters on 42nd Street. But from time to time, he would take me to Chinatown. And there was a movie down there in Chinatown, New York City. Not a Chinese theater. It was a white theater. But since it was in Chinatown, it played Kung Fu movies. So if you want me to give you a name of the first Kung Fu movie I saw, I don't know. I just enjoyed it because I was at karate with, doing fucking kicks. And I had the fist on my gi. And I didn't even, if you want me to tell you, I remembered Bruce Lee or whatever. I didn't. I just called him a Chinito, and I knew I was doing that, and here I am in a martial arts movie theater, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. And then somewhere around 1969, 1970, when I was about 6 or 7, the martial art movie business fucking exploded. And I remember being at Sacred Heart School for Boys and running home and telling whoever, my godfather, my stepfather, I got to go see Five Fingers of Death. Five Fingers of Death was the first movie that put us over the top, about a student that trains and his master, they're going to kill him, and he develops the palm of strength. I forget what it's called, the palm of death. And that's where you get these fucking rocks that are heated, and you got to put your hands in them. Trust me, Uncle Joey did it. And you got to get a bag, like a bean bag, and put a bag over it, and you got to wipe this fucking juice on your hands and fucking pound your hands like this to get them hard. You do this all day. Nothing happened to my hands. My hands, I still got pussy hands still today. They're soft as shit. But, you go through the process. I did the whole thing. And then in the 4th grade one night, we had just come out of the shower. There had to be maybe 12 to 16 of us in the dormitory. I was in the 4th grade. I was in Sister Alice's, or Sister Anna's was the fucking leader of the 4th grade dormitory. And we were watching a show by the name of Happy Days with the Fonz and Itchy Richie, whatever, Richie Cunningham and all that shit. And the next thing you know, in between one of those commercial breaks, they showed the trailer to motherfucking the Chinese Connection, a.k.a. Fist of Fury. It got released over there as Fist of Fury, but it got released here as the Chinese Connection. If you get a minute, YouTube that. Fuck, Lee, I forgot to tell you something. I want you to look for the Little Rascals cake. It's very important that you find Little Rascals cake.
Okay.
So, please. So, where were we?
They just on the commercial for
The
Fist
commercial
Fury.
for Enter the Dragon came on. Now, we're a bunch of fucking fourth graders. I don't know if you guys got kids or whatever. Fourth graders, we watch the Fonz. They give us snacks, a glass of fucking milk. Me, I drank like water or Kool-Aid or whatever the fuck, because I didn't drink milk. We're all sitting around there watching this fucking Fonz, and all of a sudden, you know, like, it's a bunch of rowdy fourth graders, and we're like in three-man packs, and we're telling stories during the TV show. But when Bruce Lee Chinese Connection came on, and they showed that that circle scene in the Chinese Connection, that's the scene you saw in the trailer. Guys, I gotta be honest with you. I gotta be honest with you that the fucking room came to a halt. Even the fucking nun. It was like you could drop a pen in there and the kid did not fucking move. None of us moved. We were frozen. Our jaws had dropped. We had been overcome. Fuck Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Fuck the Love Bug. Fuck the world's greatest athlete. Fuck Disney movies. Fuck Charlie Brown. This room was filled with kids from the 5 fucking boroughs in Staten Island. These were little fucking animals. Fuck Mickey Mouse. Fuck Donald Duck. Fuck Snoopy. We had just fucking got our world rock. This Chinese guy just kicked the fuck out of 50 people on fucking TV at 8 o'clock on national TV on a Tuesday fucking night. For 2 days, I could not wait. When my stepfather pulled up to get me that Thursday night, I remember saying to him, he was like, what do you want to do this week? And I go, I just need one favor from you. We need to find out where the Chinese Connection is playing, and we went. And we went to Clifton, New Jersey, to the Route 3 drive-in. If anybody's parents ever talk about that fucking place, hit me back. I went to see a bunch of movies there. 5 Fingers of Death, but Chinese Connection comes out of my fucking veins there. When I left that fucking drive-in theater, I was hooked, okay? I was learning karate, but I had to get to the bottom of this kung fu shit somewhere along the line. This shit was just too much. He was doing, I don't even know how I found out. I don't know if you had to buy Black Belt magazine in those days to find out everything about Bruce Lee. And when Bruce Lee came over, that's all you found in Black Belt magazine was Bruce Lee articles, who he was training, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? I was right there with him. Now, for me, I watch all these people say what he meant to them and what he didn't mean to them. To me, man, he fucking meant, I don't know. At the time, I couldn't fucking tell you. All I know is that me and every one of my friends was Bruce Lee crazy. What's Bruce Lee crazy? We used to go to Chinatown. We used to buy the outfits. You know, there's these envelopes that used to come out in Chinatown every Friday. And it was 5 assorted pictures of Bruce Lee from all his different movies. And there was like only 10 pictures, but they would give you 9 of them. And one of them, they made it really hard to get.
Wow.
It was like one with him with a new Chucks or something. So you had to keep buying the envelope over. It was like trading cards.
Yeah,
you keep buying them until you get that one. And then once you collected them, I wonder what that collection is worth now.
Millions.
I wonder what those envelopes are worth now. If anybody ever kept those envelopes from fucking Chinatown. Here, you know, if you got older grandparents that grew up and used to go to Chinatown in 73, find out if they got those envelopes or they used to be like black, like whoever did them was leave that up.
I am.
Whoever did that was a fucking scam because they were just printing them and putting them in there. But on the serious side, Bruce, like it just took off. Guys, it took off like medical marijuana. It took off like crack. It took off like the internet. It took off like cell phones. Bruce Lee took off like nothing you ever saw before. And America kept sitting back waiting for his fucking movies. He released Where the Dragon. Now, I don't know if Where the Dragon came out before or after Enter the Dragon. I don't remember the whole fucking thing. But I do remember Enter the Dragon coming out and me knowing he was dead and me sitting there crying like a pussy at the Union City Cinema in Union City, New Jersey. And
so it was The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, The Way of the Dragon, and then Game of Death. Or his last four.
And then he was shooting Game of Death, and they fucking redid it with some fucking little Chinese guy making noises. And by that time, it was off the boat. Chinese people fucking manipulated us for years with older Bruce Lee footage. Everybody was threatening that they had other Bruce Lee footage. So every movie that came out, they would say Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, and it was a lie. It was like a picture of Bruce Lee in it, or like a fucking... Chinese people were ruthless. They were getting like another guy's body and putting Bruce Lee's face on it. They were ruthless.
Wow.
And then Sonny Chiba came, and that took away the Bruce Lee thing for a while. But in people's hearts like mine, that stung. Bruce Lee's death stung. And when you watch This Is Not Happening, you'll see it in my face that it's coming up again after fucking 30 fucking years. That poor bastard's been dead for 47 fucking years. Until this day, when I tap into it, it's still fucking... And I don't tap into it a lot. I tapped into it that night, obviously, when I was on fucking stage. It came back to fucking haunt me, those fucking skeletons, because I was ready to cry up on that fucking stage. I had to control myself. Because my father's death hurt as much, or Bruce Lee's death hurt as much as my father's death, and it hurt as much as Roberto Clemente's death. And there was a bunch of people dying in those days. Morrison died, fucking Hendrix had died. So America was just getting used to, John F. Kennedy had died. People were just fucking dying from the time I could fuck them. I mean, John F. Kennedy died in 1966, but we were just on a fucking trend, Every year somebody was dying. Fucking the brother died, then Martin Luther King died. I mean, it was just like we were used to fucking people dying, but now it was people in our field. Like, it was people you didn't give a fuck, but now it was people you did give a fuck. But I could tell you, man, that I probably today, looking back at it, I probably need therapy from Bruce Lee's death.
Wow.
And then when my mother died, that brought back all those fucking feelings.